All right, y'all. So say for example, we doing GBP versus USD, which is Great Britain pound versus US dollar. So say we just click on one of these on the news. Bearish pressure ahead of the BOE. Now look, y'all gotta do y'all research, because in the market, y'all just trading blind. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no point even trading if you ain't doing your research. But all right. So bearish pressure ahead of the BOE. The GBP/USD pair is ending a second consecutive day unchanged around 1.6340 and able to attract investors. Market participants were unimpressed by PUSD pair is ending a second consecutive day unchanged around 1.6340 and able to attract investors. Market participants were unimpressed by an upward revision to the UK market services PMI, which was considered at 39.5 in January. The services sector throughout Europe has suffered the consequences of the second wave of coronavirus, which led to tough restrictive measures since last December. So basically he's telling y'all that it's going, the bears is pulling down. So we're gonna try to apply it to the market, the charts. So this is GBPUSD also. This is our supply. And we're also on the hourly. You see right there on hourly. And this is our demand. And like I said in the last video about trends. Ooh, my bad. My bad. Like bro said in the last video about trends, he was talking about uptrends. What do you notice here? You see a downtrend. You see a downtrend. And what were we just reading about? How the bears were pulling down. So that just gives you even more confirmation. But so you see it was moving between the supply and demand, dip down. Don't make sure y'all don't bite that, because the market can trick you. They don't want you to win, know that, and you're not gonna win every trade also, for sure. Ain't nobody in the world perfect. But so you see it went down and it came back up and it's starting to play around. Now what I think is it's gonna go down even more, because like I said, we got a downtrend right here, and we read what the news said, and it broke past that demand again. So yeah, that's my take on it. And you can use all of the tools you can. It doesn't even matter, as long as it makes sense to you. Apply all the tools you usually use, read the news, and just keep being patient and consistent, and you should be fine.
Hey, back at y'all, man. Like I said, I'm gonna tap in with y'all on trend lines and trends. So for today, my main focus is kind of giving you an outlook of how to identify a trend and then how to follow that trend from there and ride it out for buying and selling opportunities. So I got NZD-CHF up on the 15 minute. I had a little previous draw on him. All right, now I'm not even gonna focus too much in right now on what's actually going on. The first thing I want to do is get my people familiar with direction. So what is direction? All right. The first direction I'm gonna give you guys a look at is boom. These uptrends, right? Well, them ads be killing me. These uptrends, right? Now I'm gonna bloop it. All right, so when we got an uptrend, we're getting buying interest because, as we can see, prices increasing steadily over time. This could be over any time frame. I'm just clicking it over the 15. I'm checking over the 15-minute time frame. So if we see that sense of direction, that's the buying movement that we're looking at within that time frame. And so if we're focusing in on there, then you know which way we got to go from there. So like I said, I want to get you guys familiar with this uptrend. If you can get that screenshotted, written down, leave it up there for a second so you guys can do that. But I'm gonna go into why I got those trend lines set like that. And you'll see, for example, when I go into the actual chart, why. But this is the downtrend. In the downtrend, we're catching selling interest and we're looking for areas of lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So go ahead and get that screenshot written down. Give you a second for that one too. The basic, I don't want to go too deep for y'all. Keep the video kind of short today too. Well, I ain't mean to exit out that quick. I'm gonna just put this down so you get the gist of it. Some people could call it consolidation. I like to call it no direction. I call it no direction because it's no actual trend. Prices bouncing between the confined area and basically a supply and a demand until it breaks out of either this supply or this demand. So I go ahead and let y'all get that written down, screenshot it. All right, so now I'm going into the trend lines and showing people how do I use trend lines, how do I incorporate them, and how do I sense direction. Here, like I told you, first, we have our uptrend. Why? Because price is going up. It might not be a perfect motion. But you notice price is making higher highs and higher lows. And then boom, what we have now. Price is confined in this area. So I just identified two directions. The first direction, here. Call this no direction. Well, really, this is the first direction, but I just call this the first one for right now. Then our second direction, the uptrend, because price is making higher highs and higher lows. So therefore, you know, buying interest. Buyers are getting caught in this period. And if I come over here to my left, what is this again? No direction. We have price balance between the supply and demand of sorts until it breaks out of that area and then forms what? The uptrend. So therefore, my people, you know that you're catching buys coming out of this supply area. In the previous video, I showed you how to secure those buys and avoid fake outs out of those areas as well. So if you go back and look at that, you'll know what to do and know how to incorporate that into your trading. So therefore, as soon as it busts out of this supply area, I'm catching my buy. Depending upon my ratio, it could be a 1 or 2 or 1 or 3. 8 o'clock time comes for Eastern Time Standard US, or when at 3 a.m. Eastern Time Standard US comes, that's when you can look for these opportunities and sense these directions. 3 a.m. London session, 8 a.m. New York session. Go ahead and get it in. Future Gen in and out.